the next match, Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. Uh, it was very, very good. I very much
Yes.
enjoyed it. Becky Lynch, I totally thought Becky was going to win, and they did a huge swerve at the end because you had Zoe Stark, who came out from under the ring and attacked Becky Lynch with that
Yeah.
what was it, the 360.
It's the Z360.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Trish Stratus won because of that. And don't get me wrong, the action before that, it was very good. There was Trish Stratus was kind of hardcore. She was like grabbing just fish hooking Becky Lynch both sides of her mouth and just pulling, and it was d- devastating action by Stratus. And Becky Lynch just had that fire as always. Just an
Yeah.
insane match.
They both wore jumpsuits, and the Becky Lynch had a I forget what the actual name of the movie is, but like a Kill Bill.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called, but inspired attire.
right. Yeah, just I'd love that Zoe Stark interfered. It's gonna give her a big spotlight and get her
Oh
in the
yeah,
main event picture. And
for sure.
this I wouldn't call this match of the night by any means, but it was a good match. Gunther versus Ali. It was a star-making performance for Ali, I think at
Hmm.
least. I mean, he
I
usually
think so too.
you see Gunther getting some cheers, but Saturday he did not get any cheers because Ali
No,
was in his. I think that's like his nationality. I'm not exactly sure.
he is part Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's not from Saudi Arabia, but he
yeah,
is part Arabic.
the crowd was really behind him. You didn't hear any Gunther cheers, which I was kind of surprised by. But Gunther won. Not very surprising, but Ali did get his spots in, which was really cool. I'd like to see Ali in a
It's
bigger,
really good
better
for him.
position.
Yeah,
After that, you had Owens and Zayn who were backstage, and they did just a little promo. Zayn was saying, "What if we lose the titles?" And Owens was like, "We're not losing the titles. We will never lose the titles to them. He sucks."
and then
They're
Sami
tired of
Zayn's
Roman
just
Solo.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
uh, After that, that was some good hype for the
Main
match
event.
later on.
Yeah.
And next we had Asuka taking on Bianca Belair, and I was pretty happy to see that there's a lot of women's matches tonight. There's both the championship matches and the big star match with Stratus and Lynch.
Oh yeah.
Nice change of pace. There was a lot of women's matches. Asuka versus Bianca for the championship, and I was very surprised that Asuka actually defeated her. I'm very, very happy about it. I
Yeah.
wanted Asuka to win at WrestleMania, but this is just after WrestleMania.
Especially
She
with. Go ahead.
After WrestleMania, it kind of seems like something flipped in her. She came out to
Yeah.
congratulate Bianca, and she just gets spit in the face. No, not after
Yeah.
WrestleMania, but after WrestleMania Backlash. You know, Asuka just has that new side to her, and I'd love to see a great championship run with her with this new gimmick that she has, the Kana gimmick,
Yeah.
basically. The way she won
Eh,
was putting the mist in her fingers and then putting them in Bianca's eyes when she went for the KOD.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she. I think she'll be a great champion, and they chose a really good time for it too.
Right.
Like Bianca was on a record-breaking run, and just have her. Like it wasn't a devastating win for Asuka. Like she didn't do it in grand fashion. Like it was out of nowhere. Like everybody thought Bianca was gonna win. She gets
Yeah.
missed to the eyes, and then a few kicks to the back of the head. One, two, three. And it's just like
I think
there's a new
Asuka's going to
champion.
be refreshing for a championship spotlight because
Oh
Roman's
yeah,
been champion for a
oh
thousand
yeah.
days. It's not necessarily getting old for me. It never really was, but I know it's been
I
getting old for a lot of
I
people.
think with having Asuka and Seth both as new champions, it's gonna be very refreshing. It's what WWE's
But
needed for a while.
it's not just because it was a title change. It's because Asuka is just so good, and
Right.
yeah, it's great. And right
She'll
after
bring
this,
she'll bring a new energy
yeah, she
to
will.
the women's division.
Right after this, we had another women's championship match. The opposite brand, Rhea Ripley versus Natalia. I kind of forgot this match was going to happen, and you know it
It was kind of
Natalia got her
forgettable.
ass kicked. No, it was not forgettable in my eyes. This
I
was great for
mean,
Ripley, but Ripley kicked
it
her
was great for
ass.
Ripley. I just mean, like, there wasn't any spots to really remember other than the ending.
Yeah, I mean, Ripley just murdered her, basically. Dominic
Yeah.
kind of distracted Natalia a little bit, and then Ripley just all offense from there on and picked her up deadlift with that riptide. It was great. Show of strength and
Yeah.
just, yeah, Ripley's
You
still
usually,
champion. Not
you
really
usually don't
surprised.
see, really don't see Rhea doing that very often, where she'll deadlift somebody into a riptide.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that match was when Dominic straight up jumped on her. I was like, bro,
Yeah, that was that
like
was funny.
legs
How much
wrapped and
she won.
everything. I'm just like, and like she leaned down to Natalia and she was able to hold all this weight like that. I was like, she's strong.
Yeah. Uh, After that, we had Saxton interview Seth Rollins, which
Oh,
Seth Rollins just won the World Championship. Great, just great promo by Rollins. Good
right.
feeling moment for him. Uh, and this Cody versus Brock Lesnar match was insane. It was
It
awesome. I
was.
liked it. Yeah, it's hard to tell which was the best match of the night because Rollins and AJ was insane. Stratus and Lynch was pretty good. Gunther and Ali was okay. It's just I don't think Ali was. He kind of brought it down just because he's not as big of a star as. There was no really a lot of build up, at least for me. Obviously the crowd was
Yeah,
behind
I
him,
get
but
that.
still. And then Oscar versus Bianca was amazing, and Ripley. This it wasn't match of the night, but Ripley beating Natalia's ass was pretty enjoyable. And this match was very good. The storytelling was amazing. Lesnar just going after Cody's arm the entire fight, and Cody eventually just, learned I'm gonna hit him as hard as I can with this metal that I have inside of this cast.
This titanium cast.
Yeah, it just Lesnar got split open, and it was pretty good. Lesnar kept going for the Kimura lock. He probably had it in for a good 2 or 3 minutes at first, and then Cody was able to
Yeah,
escape. But the second time he put it on, no way. Lesnar beats him
Cody.
via
Yeah,
pass out.
Cody. As I'd say, Cody just straight up passed out. He pulled a Stone Cold.
No tap out. It was a pass out off of
And it
the
was pass
pain
out.
from the
Yeah.
Kimura. Yeah, I think that was the right decision. I honestly think
Oh
now they're
yeah.
gonna do something where
It
Cody
it
doesn't come
it
back.
makes it makes Cody look very strong while injured still. And I think they're gonna have him sit out until SummerSlam, and then
Yeah,
you have him They have their Brock and Cody have their rubber match at SummerSlam.
yeah.
Their huge payoff.
I really
Because
enjoyed it.
I mean, if you want to do Roman versus Cody for the titles again, you can do it later on.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they even do it still, which I think it's stupid if they don't.
I'd like
We'll
to see
see.
the actual brands being enforced.
Yeah, I see that. I see what you're talking about.
And then we go on to the main event. And I'm happy that they're having main events as an actual tag team match because there's a lot of emphasis on the tag team matches. There's a lot of importance on them. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on Roman and Solo. It was a good match. The storytelling by Roman is just amazing, and it was pretty funny seeing Roman every time he was on the apron. He was just talking to the fans, just looking back, and
Sure, just like, man, shut up.
yeah, it was awesome. Uh, the big stuff didn't really happen until the end, but it was still from start to finish amazing. There was a
I'll say
crazy spear
out.
on Kevin Owens. Like
I'd
Owens did a
say,
flip out of it and everything.
yeah. I was about to say big would be an understatement.
Yeah, and there was also a spot where Roman just absolutely demolished the referee with a spear.
I saw a tweet during this match, which I mean, I talked to you about. It was hilarious, and he didn't word it this way, but he essentially said, "There's three things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and a referee spear spot with during a Roman Reigns match. I'm like,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, this
that's
referee
pretty
got
much on the
murdered
spot.
though.
I mean, Roman Reigns essentially did like a Bobby Lashley-esque spear on this referee, and it's just like,
Yeah.
he gone.
So near the end of the match, the Usos interfere, and it doesn't really seem like that was a part of Roman Reigns' plan, but it definitely wasn't part of the plan for the Usos to double super kick Solo Sikoa, and after they did that, Roman Reigns came in and he was like, "What are you guys
He
doing?"
started
And he started to be an abusive tribal chief.
started being really abusive. He has an
Yeah.
abusive tribal chief. Started pushing him around, pushed, got in Jay's face, pushed him twice, pushed him against the ropes. Well, no, he started with Jimmy. He pushed Jimmy, and then he turned to Jay. I knew as soon as he turned to Jay, I called this during the match. I said, I bet you, with all this build-up with what's happened with Jimmy, especially on SmackDown, I was like, watch the Jimmy be the one to turn. And as I knew, as soon as he turned to Jay, I'm like, watch, Jimmy's gonna hit him with a super kick. And as soon as he's done with Jay, he turns around, bah, super kick heard around the world. I was just like, how did I know this was gonna happen? But yeah, hits one super kick, and Jay's just like, what are you doing? What did you do? What did you do? And he literally keeps saying it over and over again.
Yeah.
And then finally Jimmy's like, Jay tries to go after Roman, and Jimmy's just like, bro, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago. Here, let me do it. And he turns around and pop, does a second super kick. And it's just, the crowd goes wild, and I'm just like, man, that's 3 times now that he's been turned on. Turned on somebody he thought he could trust.
Yeah,
First
Jimmy
you got
just
Seth Rollins, then Sami Zayn, now Jimmy Uso. It's just like, Roman's got some bad luck. He's
yeah,
got some seriously bad luck with that.
it was very good. I thought Jay was gonna turn eventually. I
I
thought
thought
that's what
so
they were
too.
building up to, but they did it with
I thought it was,
Jimmy.
I thought it was gonna be a double turn. I thought both Jimmy and Jay were gonna turn. I thought he was gonna be like, hold up. And I thought he was gonna act like he was gonna save
There's
Roman,
no way
and then he
he
was
split
gonna
up the
get in on it.
Usos.
That would've been awesome if they did a double turn there, and just both the Usos turn on him. I think Jay will eventually turn, and he might even do it on SmackDown. Like,
Right.
they might do the double turn on SmackDown, which, I mean, it wouldn't be a double turn at that point, because Jimmy already turned. But, uh, I don't know.
I mean, this is
But
just the
yeah,
best story in WWE of like maybe of all time.
it was awesome.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. So we're moving on from WWE stuff to AEW stuff, and we're starting off with AEW Dynamite from this week. They started with a huge championship match. Kyle Fletcher from what was it called? It's Will Ospreay's
Aussie
group,
Open.
Open. He was taking on Orange Cassidy for the International Championship, and this was a great match.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
I've never heard of Kyle Fletcher, but I think he's really good. I do think he's too fast. Like at certain points, he wasn't like selling long enough. Maybe it's nitpicking, but I don't know. He was just really fast, and I think it was too fast. Then again, I'm not a professional wrestler, so I don't know shit. There was a dumb spot, I think. Kyle Fletcher, he was on the apron, and Orange Cassidy went for a DDT onto the apron, and it was kind of like the Ronda Rousey Shotzi thing from Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was stupid. It was a dumb spot. Uh, but I do want to say one thing about Orange Cassidy. He might be one of the best storytellers right now.
Even though
Because
he doesn't say much,
midway through
he's one of the
the
best.
match, he's getting his ass beat, and he still puts his hands in his pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he's a great storyteller. After this, we had Ricky Starks. By the way, I haven't watched anything AEW in like probably a good year. You know, I kept up with some MJF stuff, but other than that, So it's kind of exciting to see all this stuff again. Ricky Starks, he had a promo basically saying the Bullet Club, as in Jay White and Juice Robinson, he
Hmm.
was saying they suck. And the reason he beat them up was because they've been beating him up, and then all of a sudden, both of them come out, beat him up, and I thought it was so hilarious seeing Juice Robinson just screaming at the top of his lungs. It was
I mean,
just
the
amazing.
I would say that's basically Juice Robinson in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's
Screaming all the time for no
hilarious.
reason.
It's very hilarious.
He's like a human version of Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. It's just chaotic.
After this, we had Jungle Boy, who basically just talked about Double or Nothing. Just, this is my championship.
Salt
And
promo.
yeah, FTR, they came out and they were talking about Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And one thing I thought was hilarious, he said the top guys with the tag team division can't be rejects from TNA. It was,
At least he's being
oh my
honest.
goodness. Yeah, and then Mark Briscoe, he came out, and Dax Harwood, he gave an apology to Mark for accidentally hitting a pile driver on him, and he went for a handshake for acceptance, and Mark Briscoe kind of just smacked Dax Harwood directly in the face.
He went for a handshake and just straight up smacked the
Yeah,
snot out of him.
but that wasn't the only one. He smacked
He
Jeff
smacked.
Jarrett.
I think he smacked Cash too.
Oh no, he didn't smack Cash. No, he
Oh,
smacked
I think he
Jeff
just. I
Jarrett.
think he just walked away, and then he went back on the ramp, and then he went up. Yeah, he smacked. Did he smack Sanjay Dutt too?
He
I
smacked
think he
Jeff
did.
Jarrett. He pushed Jarrett's wife out of the way. He smacked Sanjay Dutt, and then he got in Jay Lethal's face, grabbed him by the cheeks, and was like, "You're one of my friends. You better quit this bullshit." And pushed his head really hard. And then, yeah, then he walked away, and he is
That
the
was funny,
special referee for their
bro.
match at Double or Nothing.
That smack on Jeff Jarrett though, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Like that was a full swing smack. He's that, and
yeah.
Jeff Jarrett just went flying. I was like, dang, bro.
So we already
He got
have
some
one
power
member.
behind his smacks.
Yeah, he does. Oh my goodness. Uh, we had one member of that Fatal 4-Way match at Double or Nothing talk, but we're having the second one, and it was Sammy Guevara. He basically said he refuses to lie down at Double or Nothing for MJF. He refuses. He wants that championship. Uh, I'll tell you what, man. Speaking of champions, House of Black is just probably my favorite thing about AEW right now. We had
Yeah,
House of
for
Black
sure.
take on AR Fox, Blake Christian, and former WWE star Grand Metalik, who just goes as Metalik now. Uh, just an insane match.
Yeah.
Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King are some of the best in the world right now. It they're the greatest faction in AEW, I think, other than the BCC. And yeah, fuck the Elite. The main thing I took from this match was that Buddy Matthews did the Rhea Ripley move, the reverse cloverleaf. That
Yeah.
was really cool. And then Malachi put AR Fox into a knee bar. I think it was AR Fox. And then I thought it was so hilarious. Blake Christian went to break up the hold, and Brody King just grabbed him up, put him in a chokehold, and dangled him from the side of the apron. And when the match was over, he just let go of him, and Blake Christian just fell right to the ground, dude. It was so hilarious. And
Mm,
House of Black retained their trios championships.
yep.
Then we had Blackpool Combat Club. They had a promo, and the main thing I took from this was John Moxley saying, "You'll see the difference between pros and amateurs."
Sounds like Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, I'm just loving Blackpool Combat Club right now. Like
Yeah, me too.
Danielson, the best. Moxley, one of the best. Claudio's just Oh my goodness, he's so impressive. The Ring of Honor World Champion, which I just learned, but while watching Dynamite. I'm really out of the loop
Yeah.
with Ring of Honor and AEW, but I'm learning for the podcast again. And trust me, I'm very much enjoying learning about Blackpool Combat Club right now.
Yeah.
So we already heard from two of the dudes that are in that Fatal 4-Way match. We're hearing from the other two as we have MJF coming out. He did his promo. I thought it was pretty funny. He was saying, "We have made AEW the best promotion right now." And then he had to remember, "Oh wait, I'm about to do a negotiation." And then he starts talking, "Yeah, AEW sucks. Tony Khan's an asshole." It's, and yes, Tony Khan is an asshole.
Essentially. Yeah.
Then we had Darby Allin. He came out basically getting in MJF's face, saying, "I'm going to be the world champion." I was living in my car in, I think he said Florida or something, trying to get this done, and now I'm going to beat you, whatever. He gets hit in the balls immediately, and
Yeah. I
then
remember that.
yeah, then Sammy Guevara came
And
out, did his little thing, and then Jungle Boy came out, did his little thing, and Jungle Boy held up the world championship. This was a, you know, very good build up to that match.
oh yeah, for sure.
Then we had a huge Wardlow promo, and I absolutely loved Wardlow and Arn Anderson together. It's just the perfect
Yeah.
pairing, I think.
It fits really well.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought Arn would be done after Cody Rhodes left, but no, I'm very happy he wasn't done.
Yeah.
And they were talking. Wardlow was basically saying Christian Cage sucks. He doesn't have any advantage in this ladder match, and he was right. Uh, we had Taya Valkyrie take on Lady Frost, and I've never heard of Lady Frost, but they played a little Ring
Me
of Honor
neither.
clip, and Lady Frost seemed to be pretty good in this match. In my opinion, was not good. At least the beginning
Uh-uh.
wasn't good. It was very slow. You know, it kind of seemed like, I don't know. There was something about it. Like they were pre-moving way too early. Like Taya Valkyrie, you could tell she was about to do a hip toss like 3 seconds before she actually did it. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
kind of seemed a little bit weird,
Prepare a little bit.
unprofessional, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm not a wrestler. Once again,
Yeah.
uh, but I didn't really enjoy it that much until the ending. You had Jade Cargill, Taya Valkyrie's opponent for Double or Nothing. She came out with her little posse, that dumbass Mark Sterling, and yeah, she tried to distract her, but that did not do anything because Taya Valkyrie kicked Lady Frost's ass. And I mean,
You say that again.
I got very excited for Taya versus Jade Cargill after this match, or after this little segment.
Because I believe that Ty is more skilled than a lot of people give her credit for.
Yeah, she's one of the top women's wrestlers right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, well, from one exciting segment to one cringy segment because we had Tony Khan come out. Tony Khan is just cringe in general.
Anytime he does anything, it's cringe.
I mean, his talking just seems so unnatural. Anyway, he made his little announcement that Collision's first venue is going to be June 17th in Chicago. So, that's cool. Tony Khan is very cringe. Going back to the Blackpool Combat Club, or at least that little rivalry, we had Adam Page come out, or not come out, sorry. He had a little interview backstage, and he basically said this Sunday you pay in blood. Talking about the Blackpool Combat Club. This match was very good. When we actually watched Double or Nothing, dude. Something that was really awesome in the show, probably my favorite segment from this show, was Adam Cole and Chris Jericho's contract signing.
Oh yeah, for
The
sure.
one thing that I immediately noticed, why the fuck is Daniel Garcia wearing a crop top?
I bet that was Chris Jericho's idea.
I mean, this dude is literally in a crop top. It's weird as fuck. Why is that even like that? That
I don't know.
that's stupid. Anyway,
It is really weird and stupid.
I really like to see Roderick Strong out there. It was awesome. I didn't realize that Adam and Roderick were together, but yeah, it made me feel pretty good. I want the Undisputed Era back so bad. I wish O'Reilly and Fish were still in AEW, because that, especially with Strong being there now.
Which, I mean, I think O'Reilly is. I think he's just still hurt.
Oh, I'm not. I don't know.
I don't. I think it's Bobby Fish that's not in AEW anymore.
Yeah.
I think Bobby's just not fighting. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly might be the same way. I don't know. I said
Yeah,
I
I'm not sure.
remembered him being on the roster.
Yeah. I wish they were there, but either way, we have to live with two of them. That's good enough. Adam Cole and Chris Jericho. Cole started talking, basically said, after you beat up Britt Baker, I want to kill you. And Chris Jericho was saying to him, dude, how can a man let his woman get beat up like that? I mean,
I thought
you
that was
suck as a
funny.
man. And Jericho's trying to gaslight Cole into making it his fault. Oh my
It's your
goodness.
fault your wife got beat up.
Yeah.
I was handcuffed to the rope. What do you expect me to do?
Uh,
I thought his reaction was like, "What you talking about, bro?"
yeah. Adam Cole, didn't take very well to that comment, and Chris Jericho even replayed the clip. And this got Cole thinking hardcore enough to bring out the freaking homicidal, suicidal, genocidal
Suicidal,
Sabu.
genocidal, Sabu.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
It was
Sabu.
awesome, but like the point of bringing him back was kind of stupid.
Yeah, very.
And we'll get to that when we get to our Double or Nothing
They
run
literally
through.
only had an enforcer to bring Sabu back, and he didn't even enforce shit.
Nope.
He just beat the fuck out of
It
everybody.
did a couple of random spots,
Yeah.
especially one spot where he falls like an old man because he is an old man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was honestly extremely pointless.
But it was pretty exciting at first.
Yeah.
We had Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter hype for the AEW Women's Championship at Double or Nothing, so that got me pretty hype about that. The last time I was watching AEW, Jamie Hayter was still Britt Baker's bitch, basically.
Essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, that got me pretty excited for that. But something I was very excited about. Roderick Strong was just out there. Daniel Garcia with his stupid little crop top. They just started a match between them two. They didn't announce it. At least I didn't see anything about it beforehand. But Roderick Strong and Daniel Garcia, this was a great match. And one thing I want to just take note of is them chops, baby. It was one chop after another, after another, after another. And that cardio machine that Roderick Strong pulls out the victory against Daniel Garcia. Dude, them chops were insane. You watched the match, right?
The Daniel Garcia,
Roderick
Roderick
Strong,
Strong.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude,
It was crazy.
it was a great
I think
match.
I feel like I missed the ending because I don't remember it very well. But
Yeah.
I remember seeing a majority of it, and it was very hard hitting. Because, I mean, it was mostly, like, back and forth chops was the main thing. I was just like, y'all are just battering each other to the extreme.
I love Roderick Strong's End of Heartache.
Me too.
Just an insane finisher, and he picked up the victory with that. And the next thing we're going to talk about with this was Willow Nightingale. I think I've heard of her one time, but like very
Same.
very
Minimally.
very minimally. You had a big hype package promo for her. And I didn't realize that she beat Sasha Banks for the
She,
championship.
in air quotes, she beat Sasha Banks. We'll put that in air quotes.
Well, Mercedes Moné, I guess.
No, it's not Sasha Banks being in quotations beating her in quotation marks.
Oh, I know.
Mercedes Moné got hurt, and they had to give the title to. My guess is, I don't think Willow Nightingale was supposed to win, but I think they had to give it to her because Mercedes Moné got hurt.
Hmm. Well, either way, it's on
But
that
I don't
record
know.
book. It's on that record book
Yeah.
that Willow Nightingale is a top star now because she beat Mercedes Monet. And, as
Automatically
soon as I
stop
seen that,
start
that's a
because you
lot of
beat somebody
credibility.
one time.
That's a lot of credibility once you beat somebody, especially like Mercedes. That's like beating Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have to
so,
see what happens when they face each other when Mercedes Moné is 100% is able to finish the match 100%. That'll be the
dude,
true test.
yeah. There was one thing I freaking loved about this. This
What was
next
that?
this main event, dude. I didn't even know that this was happening until like they announced it in the show. But you had the main event being the Lucha Bros defending their ROH Tag Team Championships
Oh
against the
yeah, I
ROH
forgot
World
about that
Champion
too.
Claudio and his tag team partner from BCC, freaking Wheeler Yuta. Dude, this was a great match. I
With
mean,
Brian Danielson on commentary.
they were Claudio and Wheeler. They were doing their thing, and then all of a sudden, Lucha Bros change it up, just quicken the pace. Pentagon
And
hurts Claudio, and then
yeah,
freaking Ray Phoenix does a little tightrope walk on the rope, and he ran so fast. It was like Claudio got hurt, and then all of a sudden, boom, kick to the face out of nowhere,
yeah.
and then
And
that
then
just
you got
changed the match, and then, mm,
then, then you got Brian Danielson on commentary sounding like an
dude,
abusive dad.
Brian
Like
Danielson.
Brian Danielson, like Wheeler Yuta didn't like completely cover a pin very well. He's, Brian Danielson said something along the lines of like he's gonna pay dearly for not doing that cover very
Yeah,
well. I'm gonna beat him the next time. Next available
he said
time
I'm
I'm
gonna
able to
smack
do it.
him.
I'm gonna smack
He's
him.
getting a smack for that. He also said, while Wheeler was getting his arms twisted back by Pentagon, he said, well, somebody on commentary said, they're going to dislocate his arm, and Danielson said, you think we haven't
Good.
dislocated Wheeler's shoulders for training?
He's the abusive dad of the group.
What kind of training do
He
they
takes
do?
care of the he takes care of the discipline.
Well, Danielson did say that they're the best. They are the
That's
best
true.
trained, everything, but they did lose here. And I was
Yeah.
really thinking, how are they going to get out of this? But they had the Young Bucks hold Claudio while Wheeler was getting pinned. It was a right way to end it, and at the same time, just this was a great match, dude, and
Yeah.
great showing for
Both teams,
for,
especially the Lucha
for
Bros.
especially for this, well, for this rivalry as well. Just
Oh yeah.
yeah, great showing for everybody, and the Young
I
Bucks
hope.
ran to the crowd afterwards, and Moxley came out and he was like, "Fuck you guys," basically. That's all I
Yeah.
remember from it. But yeah, it was a very, very good card overall, and loved the main
A
event.
good main event. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was definitely something fresh. It felt like something fresh.
dude. I'll tell you what, this Double or Nothing card. We didn't watch the pre-show. We didn't watch the Hardys match. We know the Hardys won, so that's a good thing. We were both right about that in our predictions. Uh, the first time we started watching, we missed all the Battle Royal except for the last part. And that last
Yeah.
part was probably the best part. It was Strickland versus Cassidy.
It was a very good interaction, like a very good last two with Cassidy and Strickland. I haven't seen a lot of Swerve Strickland. I also haven't watched a lot of AEW, especially recently. Um, but it was a lot of back and forth. It was a
What
lot
about
more
Isaiah
than I
Swerve Scott?
expected. I didn't even watch a lot of Isaiah Swerve Scott when
Oh
he
my
was in WWE
goodness, you're a
either.
casual.
I didn't watch a lot of wrestling at the time. I didn't watch. Okay, I didn't watch a lot of NXT at the time. I did watch main roster, but
Isaiah
NXT
Swerve
I didn't
Scott
really
was
follow.
amazing. Swerve Strickland is just amazing, dude. I could have definitely seen him beating Cassidy, but in the end, Cassidy
Yeah,
was able to pull off the victory just by kind of kicking his wrist off the top rope.
One of my favorite parts is when Strickland put Orange Cassidy's own hands in his pockets and tried to like basically mock him, and then Orange Cassidy was able to. I don't know. I think he was trying to eliminate him,
Well, I
and
hope he'd be trying to
Orange
eliminate him in a
Cassidy.
battle royal.
Well, I meant while his hands were in the pockets. Uh, and so Orange Cassidy essentially pushed off, and then I think did like some sort of bulldog.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he did, but yeah,
But Orange
I
Cassidy
thought that
pulls
was
off the
funny.
victory.
He retains.
Yeah. Chris Jericho takes on Adam Cole next, and this was a weird match because it started
I
off,
didn't like it.
it is Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole, but it started off with both factions going against each other. Factions as in Sabu and Roderick Strong, with Adam Cole taking on all of the Jericho Appreciation Society. It seemed
With
like it was
Adam
just going to
Cole
be a 5 on
having
3, especially
yeah,
because Jericho alluded to it during Dynamite that we have more members on our team. But anyway, Jericho and Adam Cole, it started 5 on 3, and then all of a sudden everybody left. So that was a weird part, and then it just became a 1-on-1 match. And Sabu was supposed to be the enforcer. He left when everybody else did. It
yeah.
was weird. I don't
Literally,
understand why they announced him
literally
as an
everybody was
enforcer.
literally everybody was fighting outside the ring. There's a bunch of like different chair spots, and then there was a huge table spot with Sabu, which he literally looked like a old man falling through a table.
Yeah,
It
he
was
didn't jump. He
weird.
kind of just
He
leaned forward
fell.
and fell.
Yeah, he fell into it.
It was
It
pretty
was
funny.
weird. I gave a pretty good demonstration of it when we were watching it. I had fun. I had fun with that. It was funny. Um, but with that, yeah, they kind of just after that table spot, they all just got up and left once Chris Jericho and Adam Cole got in the ring. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
that
was the point in doing all that?
kind of like didn't ruin it for me, but I don't know.
It made the unsanctioned match pointless,
But we did,
kind of.
eventually they just left, so we did get that 1-on-1 match between Jericho and Cole. One
It
thing I
ended up
mentioned,
being.
it's that
Go
Cole
ahead.
kind of seems like a younger Jericho. That
Oh
same
yeah,
style, that same ego, that same everything. Uh,
yeah,
it's awesome. I like seeing that kind of stuff. It's kind of like Jericho was the younger Michaels, and then Cole
yeah,
is now the younger Jericho.
yeah. No, I have somebody following Cole's footsteps later on. But yeah, I mean, ended up being like a shorter match, which I was surprised.
Yeah.
Like Adam Cole, I forget what he used, but he ended up knocking out Chris Jericho with some object, and
Well, that's very descriptive.
um, I don't remember what it was. Okay,
Adam Cole won.
um,
That's
yeah,
that's the big thing.
Adam Cole knocked Chris Jericho unconscious and made it to
Well,
where Chris Jericho couldn't continue.
there was a great spot because after Jericho he'd gotten Britt Baker beat up essentially. Britt Baker came out with a kendo stick and absolutely beat the hell out of Jericho.
Which
She
I
got her
thought
revenge, and then
was
Saraya came out and attacked Baker. Baker ran her off with a kendo stick, and then it was that 1-on-1 match again, and Adam Cole won, which is the right decision in my mind. And then the next match was the tag team championship match. The AEW tag team champions FTR. They were defending against Jay and Jeff with Briscoe being the referee. Uh, yeah, it was a good match. I very much enjoyed it. FTR is just one of the best tag teams, if not the best. Maybe I think the New Day and the Usos and the Young
yeah,
Bucks put them up for that.
but
They
FTR
might be
will
the other.
definitely.
They might be the top, or maybe FTR is because they're just all so evenly matched, so good. But FTR might be the best. I know FTR is just
FTR is definitely high on my list on
they're
top tag
just
teams.
so good, and they were fighting Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, which is a good tag team. It's for Jeff Jarrett to be how old he is and still wrestling at the same pace as the younger guys. It's awesome. He's still doing
Yeah,
great. Jarrett hit Mark Briscoe with a guitar. Uh, didn't really mean
Accidentally.
to. Yeah. And there was also a spot where the referee was knocked out, and Aubrey Edwards was coming out, tried to come in, and
Sanjay Dutt straight up blocked her path,
yeah,
and then
he blocked
he,
her, and then Jeff Jarrett's
oh,
wife,
Karen,
freaking hit Aubrey Edwards with a guitar, and I think that's the first
Karen
one.
Jarrett straight up just unleashed a guitar smash over Aubrey
Yeah,
Edwards' head. I'm like,
yeah, I
what
think
just
that's her first
happened?
bump that she's taken, Aubrey Edwards.
Either her first bump or her first bump in a while.
Yeah, that
First bump
the
I
crowd was
remember.
chanting "Fuck you, Karen," which was pretty appropriate for the moment.
Yeah, I think it was pretty coincidental that uh, her name was Karen.
Uh,
I didn't know that.
uh,
I was like, and for them to start chanting that, it's just like,
yeah,
us being
fucking Karen.
2023, that's so relatable.
Yeah. Uh, Basically, Mark Briscoe got up, smacked the fuck out of Jeff Jarrett, and then I mean, there was
Again,
some more offset offense, but FTR hit a big rig slash shatter machine slash probably one of my favorite tag team moves of all time, and FTR defeats Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, which was obviously the best decision right there.
yeah, you don't want the you don't want FTR to look weak after taking the
Right.
titles off of the Guns with their careers on the line. Like,
Yeah.
that just makes them look stupid if you make them lose the titles now.
Well, we had another championship match, the TNT Championship. Wardlow taking on Christian Cage in a ladder match, and I really wanted Christian Cage to win, but it ended up that Wardlow won. There was a crazy spinning press slam on the ladder on Christian Cage. I mean, Wardlow picked him up with ease. Wardlow's a beast of a man, and he just spun for a good 30 seconds, and then he threw Christian Cage on the ladder. It was it was pretty funny, pretty
Yeah.
good spot, and I did like the spot Christian Cage did, reverse DDT from the middle of the ladder. I'm pretty sure he's done that as like a replacement for the kill switch in certain moments. He did that off the middle of the ladder, which was really awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, I know,
It's always cool to see it like done off
yeah.
of different spots of the ladder, especially when you get higher up.
Well, after that, I mean, it seems like Wardlow had this need to one up Christian Cage, so he put Christian Cage on a ladder and tried to go for a swanton, and he missed. He missed. He landed neck first on that ladder, which, I mean, it looked like it hurt, and great selling from Wardlow. I loved that.
Uh,
And there was a good spot where Wardlow jumped from the top rope to the middle of the ladder, and he twisted the ladder up. That did not work at all.
you thought the ladder was broken. I mean, essentially at that point it was broken, but
Yeah,
I was like, that ended up being crazy
yeah,
with
Lucha.
how mangled it got. It was just like,
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. It was weird how he fucking broke that ladder. You had Luchasaurus. He tried to get involved, getting Wardlow, just trying to get Christian Cage to win, and Arn Anderson came in, trying to hit Luchasaurus with a crazy spine buster, but that did not happen because
no,
Luchasaurus went for the choke slam, and Arn Anderson freaking bit Luchasaurus's thumb, and there was like blood everywhere coming off of Luchasaurus's thumb. It was a crazy setup. It was
it's
pretty funny.
disgusting.
And even after the match, you could see the blood from Arn Anderson's mouth. Ugh.
It was
uh,
absolutely nasty.
and then after that, Luchasaurus went for the choke slam again, trying to put him through some tables, and Wardlow wasn't having any of that, saving him. He put him on them tables, and he went to a great ladder and did a Jeff Hardy type spot. I'm surprised a dude who's well over 260 able to do that, all muscle, just crazy swanton bomb from like a 15 to 20 foot ladder through some tables
It's
on
not even
Luchasaurus.
the fact that he hit a swanton. Like he hit it almost perfect.
Yeah.
Like he
Uh,
timed it perfectly and everything.
yeah, this was a very great match. I wanted Christian Cage to win. He was going to the top of the ladder, especially after Wardlow went through that swanton bomb. It was pretty funny. You know, the after that swanton, the camera just panned over to Christian Cage, and he was just looking up like he was trying to
He
be
just peeked over.
sneaky.
He's like,
He
huh?
peeked over the apron, and yeah, it was pretty funny.
You, yeah, it just pans and you just see a set of eyeballs. It's just like looking
That was
side to side
immediate.
and then slides in.
That was an immediate, like, oh my god, I want him to win. He got to the top of the ladder, and then Arn Anderson pushed him off, and Wardlow caught him into a crazy power bomb, and Wardlow
That
retains. I
was a
mean,
great spot.
it was great. It was an amazing match. Crazy spots everywhere. Wardlow really put his body on the line, which, you know, this is a great TNT title run.
Yeah.
Wardlow is just, he went from MJF's bitch to main event player. It's amazing to see the
Yeah,
story
for sure.
progress with that. And then you had a member of the Outcasts, Tony Storm, fighting for the AEW Women's Champion against Jamie Hayter. And, Tony came out doing her thing, and during Jamie's entrance, before she even came out, the Outcasts beat the fuck out of her. And then brought her in the ring, beat the fuck out of her some more. And, Britt Baker came out, trying to help her. And surprisingly, Tony Storm beat Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they ended there early.
Yeah, that was
Cause
a shorter match. It was kind of
I
surprising.
mean, like match wise and reign wise, like I understand it wasn't like a short reign, but I felt like they could
Oh,
have ran her
forgot to
reign
mention,
longer.
Hikaru Shida also came out to help. Forgot to
Yeah.
mention that. Um, so yeah, it was a short match, kind of a weird ending, but Tony Storm wins, and I'm pretty happy with that. I like the Outcasts from what I've seen of them.
Yeah. They do need to be booked a little better, but other than that,
Yeah, and like I said during the Dynamite, freaking House of Black is just amazing. They did an open challenge, and the people that came out were the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. A crazy
they ended
match. I
up,
loved it.
yeah,
Dude,
ended up making a reference to Dominic Mysterio.
yeah, during the rap, Max Caster said something along the lines of like, what was it? I can't remember what he rhymed it with, but
Let me see.
he
He
basically
said,
said,
"Buddy out here looking, trying,
"Buddy out
uh,
here looking
oh,
ominous."
buddy always out here looking ominous." And then you can say the next part.
Buddy out here looking ominous. Uh, he's getting cucked by a kid named Dominic. It was
I'm like,
obviously
bro,
Dominic Mysterio
I'm
got his sister taken by Buddy, and now he's taking Buddy's girlfriend from him, Rhea Ripley. He's all up, touching her booty, touching them insides. You're a cuck. Oh my, it was great. I loved it. And the match
Max
wasn't
Caster always, uh,
always comes through.
always comes through with his
Oh
raps.
yeah.
It's always great.
So the one thing I had with this match was that you had Daddy Ass. I didn't really see it as a legitimate threat to the House of Black. So I don't know about other people, but that was just my thing about it. You had Daddy
As
Ass
much
in
as
there. It doesn't seem as
yeah, I was
credible.
about to say, Billy Gunn. As much as I like Billy Gunn in general, I think I didn't like him in this match.
My favorite spot of this match was Billy Gunn hit a famouser on Brody King, and Brody went flying, dude.
That dude
He
got
went over
spiked.
Billy Gunn. Yeah, he spiked himself and then went over Billy Gunn and then rolled out of the ring. It was amazing. And House of
There was
Black ended up winning.
yeah, there because he had the one with Brody King, and then I think there was one on Buddy Matthews. He was trying to enter back in the ring, and he caught him with a famouser right in the middle of the rope,
Yeah.
and just nailed him basically the same way he did with Brody King.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty good match. Not as memorable, other than the fact that House of Black is still the champions, just adding to their incredible reign.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're just
definitely a good
all
fit.
good.
The
Proving
trio. Go ahead.
Malachi and Buddy have just been proving that they are WWE should not have released them. That they are some of the best right now.
Yeah, I think the trios division is perfect for House of Black right now.
Yeah.
It's a perfect setup for them.
Now this one was one of my favorite matches of the entire card, and it was Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. And it wasn't one of my favorites due to the actual match. You know, it was a decent match. Jade Cargill won, adding to her record, and it has become 60-0. Or has it? Because you had Chris Statlander making her return after the match. You had Mark Sterling's dumbass on the mic saying, Jade Cargill is the best.
Nobody.
She will do whatever. She will defend this title whenever she wants, whenever,
There's
whatever,
nobody left to
whoever.
face Trey. There's
Yeah.
nobody left to face Jade Gargill, and then you just hear Chris Statlander's music, and she just comes out.
And
She's like,
Chris
"Let's go."
Statlander actually beat Jade Cargill, which was very surprising. This is not 60 now anymore. This is 60-1. Yes, baby. Chris
She got
Statlander is
beat,
the new TBS champion.
and she's probably gonna have a lengthy reign too, I imagine.
Oh yeah, she's only the second ever TBS champion,
TBS
which is just
champion,
very
yeah,
impressive because Jade Cargill was the champion through the ring probably for a year and a half now,
yeah, pretty
something like that
close,
anyway.
pretty close too.
So we had that great match, great title change, and I'll tell you what, this next match there should have been a title change. At least I wanted there to be a title change. It was Darby
I
Allin
thought there
versus
was gonna
Jack
be
Perry versus MJF versus Guevara.
the Four Pillars match.
The Four Pillars match, and they all had, except for Jungle Boy, they all had their little cool entrance. Guevara announced that him and Ty Conti are now pregnant, so that's really awesome.
Yeah, which might be part of the reason why Guevara lost. I could see why if he's taking time off
Well,
and
I don't even think that
paternity leave.
MJF would lose in general, but
Right, right. I'm just saying, like, for Guevara specifically, not to win. That's probably why.
yeah, it was a special moment.
For sure.
And then you had another special entrance from Darby Allin. It was Darby Allin and Elvis Presley burying MJF's body, basically. It was just amazing. And then Darby came out. Yeah, he was definitely my favorite. I wanted him to win. And then
Yeah,
MJF, his entrance was basically Triple H from WrestleMania. That's all we have to say.
essentially.
That's all we have to say. I did like the spot where, you had on Dynamite Guevara saying he wasn't going to lay down for MJF, and MJF brought it up during the match. He grabbed the microphone after it was just him and Guevara in the ring, and
The
he
offer's still
said,
on the table.
he said, "Look, I know you have that baby on the way. You need the money. Just lay down." And Guevara agreed. And then before he actually got pinned, he rolled MJF up and didn't get the pinfall. But I'll tell you what though, Darby Allin was so good in this match. He was hitting every spot he needed to, just, and he was very
Yeah.
fast paced. He was
It,
he hit the coffin drop on MJF at one point, and I thought he was going to win, and lo and
yeah.
behold, dumbass Jack Jungle Boy Perry has to break it up, and Darby looked so pissed. I want him and Jack Perry to get into a rivalry, and Darby Allin turn heel. I would love that. Just bring that dark side out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be
And
awesome.
they teased Jungle Boy turning heel, but he couldn't do it.
Oh, not Jungle Boy. I want Darby Allin.
I I know what you want. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
Like they teased Jungle Boy turning heel, like he had the title, he was gonna hit Darby with it, and he couldn't do it.
yeah.
So But yeah, I know there was another crazy spot where they were hitting Canadian destroyers on each other like crazy.
Yeah, this was an insane match. If there's one match you watch from this show, I think this would be the one.
Yeah.
This or the next match, the main event. But we'll get to that in just a second because MJF won. And I was, great decision. It's just MJF's the biggest star in AEW right now, so great decision.
His reign hasn't been long enough. I don't think. I think
Right.
they need to go longer.
It's going. I think it's on 100 and close to 180.
I think it. Yeah, I thought maybe it said 190, but it might have said 180.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
can't remember.
well, like I was saying, you can either watch that match. Like if there's one match you decide to watch, be it this one or this main event, because you had the Elite take on Blackpool Combat Club and the Anarchy in the Arena match for the first probably good 5 to 10 minutes. You had the band, the live performance playing John Moxley's theme song, which I think they did in the last year's Anarchy in the Arena match. I mean, you
But
had,
it wasn't live though. I guess that's the main difference.
yeah. I mean, you had so many different spots. I mean, a pile driver on Matt Jackson on a truck by Claudio. You had
The bed of a
Kenny
pickup
and
truck.
yeah, you have Kenny and uh, John Moxley sending each other in barbed wire. You had a crazy Matt Jackson or Nick Jackson hit a super kick with an exploding boot on John Moxley. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? That's crazy. It was awesome. I mean, just an amazing match. Go watch it. Us talking about it can't do it justice. But there was one thing at
Right.
the ending. BCC did win, which is what we both wanted. And they won because Don Callis brought, let me see, Takeshita. Fuck, I'm stupid.
You said it like MJF said it.
Takeshita.
Except he
You
said
say it.
take.
Take
Uh,
shit. Take a shitta.
Yeah, that's literally how MJF said it as a joke. Takeshita.
Yeah,
That's his name.
Takeshita turned. He did a crazy heel turn.
Which I saw something like before Double or Nothing where there was a prediction that he was gonna turn heel. And I was like, I don't know. It ended up happening, so
The
that
Elite
kind
were
of
gonna win. They
threw me
were
off.
gonna win, and then Takeshita just massive heel turn, probably the talk of the night. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
That
definitely
match in
changed the
general was
game.
amazing. Plus Takeshita doing a massive heel turn, and from what I've seen of him, I think he's gonna make a great heel star. But
And
it
you
didn't
could
really. You still have the question of is Don Callis and Takeshita are even with the BCC?
could they be in business for themselves?
Maybe BCC don't even like Takeshita, so we'll just
Yeah,
see.
possibly. Well, if they are with the BCC, we could possibly see a Takeshita versus Omega feud down the road.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. It was very good match, very good card overall. Loved
Yeah,
Double
for
or Nothing.
sure.
I loved Night of Champions. I loved all the wrestling this week. Everything was great except for Rampage.
Yeah, for sure.
For AEW, WWE, and UFC, I can't wait for the UFC 290 card.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. The main fight I want to watch on there is that Volkanovski Yair Rodriguez
Yeah,
fight.
that's the main event. That'll be a good fight.
Oh yeah,
So that's what we've got for today, ladies and gentlemen. I know this was a long one. This was a long week of wrestling. So we hope to see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Please subscribe.
do.
Please do whatever. We are hoping to get on Spotify soon.
We'll try
So
to get it set up sometime soon,
just
and
stay
if we
tuned.
can, keep an eye out for it.
Also check out the Crazy Maniac Productions YouTube channel and the voice box.
I changed it. I changed it to what my
Oh
Oculus
my
name is, so
goodness.
I changed it back. That way it matches my Oculus name. It is now the Voices Guy 2119.
The Voices Guy 2119 and Crazy Maniac Productions. Subscribe to the Fight Pit Pod. We hope to see you guys next week for some more wrestling and MMA stuff.
Hope to see you as well.
Up in it, bitch, we tryna get higher. Put it back, I cooking and rack me, eating that pack of meal and stapper, holding it down, pull up in the primary real, they're just not faking the cat. Yeah, killing the trapper, coming back, I'll break new loose, keep up in the track, I'm feeling the beachy, burning, healing, marking the tie, beam, baking me scream. Don't clap in the sea, air track and pee, I'm master love, but feet too deep, I'm switching my game, take pass and see, even with my shot, no line to see.